is good. Welcome to the third night of Money Matters. We're excited you guys are here, the ones that have shown up, and hopefully we got some people that will be showing up with their homework tonight. Tonight's a good night to find out who's getting out of debt. You guys finish over? All right, thanks. All right. Let's open by prayer. Father God, we come to you humbly tonight. Thank you for your grace, your mercy. But most importantly, Father, thank you for your unmerited favor that we can't even qualify for. We just love you, Father, and want you to know it, and thank you each day. Father, we excited about this fellowship tonight. Thank you for allowing us to get here safely. We pray that something tonight, Father, be said to give somebody hope, whatever situation they're going through financially. And something to be said, Father, for those who don't have any financial issues, to validate where they are and give them more ideas to get better. We ask, Father, that you be here with us. I ask you to bless this session. Bless the teacher's going to be teaching tonight, Father. In your son, Jesus' name, amen. All right. Who's got the homework done for tonight? Oh, she's got a hand up back there. Good deal. Tonight is about debt, understanding debt, and also getting some questions answered initially. Let's get your questions answered before we get started compared to the last class. Did you guys have any struggles putting information together from the last class? Any struggles? Any questions? Who's got some exciting news then about their debt plan? Who's excited about what they found out? Back here. What's your name, ma'am? Janet. Let's give Janet a mic back there so we can ask her real quickly what she found out about her debt. Janet, raise your hand, please. All right. Okay, Janet, we're listening.
I found out that in 7 years and 3 months, I would be cleared of debt.
In 7 years and 3 months, you'd be totally debt-free.
Yes, sir.
So that's your financial independence number, right? Remember that FIN number? FIN? Now, what all debt does that include?
My auto loan, my home mortgage, the credit card, and a Rocket mortgage loan.
Auto loans, credit cards, and a mortgage. Oh, my God. Now, let me tell you what that looks like. Candace probably go through it tonight, but she's going to give herself a raise in 7 years and 3 months. You understand that, right? Is it $2,100? Now watch this. How much time were you scheduled to be in debt before you put together your debt plan? Come on.
A long time, Mr. Thomas.
Was it at least 20?
Because I didn't know.
How long you had your mortgage? Just how long you bought your mortgage?
Huh?
How long has it been since you bought your home?
Lord, that was in 2001.
What was it?
2001.
2001. Okay, have you ever refinanced it?
Twice.
Twice? When was the last time you refinanced it?
That would have been in 2023.
Okay, you guys just catch that? She had 30 years left on her mortgage. Now she's going to pay it off in 7 years and 3 months. Give her a hand. Now, here's the big question. How much extra money did you have to come up with to do that? Did you find the money inside your spending plan? Or did you have to come up with the extra money to do that?
Came up through Miss Candace, $100.
$100. You took $100
Extra.
and got rid of all your debt that's going to be scheduled to pay out in the next 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You guys got to see what this is really worth. Because if she was scheduled to pay this money out in the last 30 years, she's got 23 years. Now she can roll that money into investments. Did you look at those numbers? So what do those numbers look like for you over the next 23 years if you invest that money? She hasn't did it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, Candace will get that. She'll show you that tonight. But is that amazing? $3.33. And she's paying off her mortgage, her credit cards, student loan, whatever she's got, it's got to go away. And she's going to have a $2,000 a month excess that she can invest for her financial future and create some generational wealth. Anybody else? Yes, sir. What's your name? Randy. Tell us your story, Randy.
Yeah, I did all my debt in the calculator and say 5.5 years I haven't paid off.
Is that your mortgage too?
Everything I got.
Everything?
Yes, sir.
In 5.5 years?
Yes, sir.
And how much extra money did you come up with?
$100.
$100. Is that amazing? Yeah. Give Randy a hand. See, See, I told you guys when you got here, we would teach you a strategy to recapture your lost money and take that lost opportunity you had right there and turn it into a very, very successful financial investment. Because you guys, once you start understanding the compound interest we're going to teach about, and understanding returns, there's no one in here that should not be getting a double-digit return on your money. If you're getting less than 10% return on your money year in and year out, your money is in the wrong place. And we're going to prove that to you, okay? Anybody else? Over here. What's your name? Let's get her a mic over here, please.
So for my debt, I'll be debt-free in about 2 years and 8 months. And it's about $67,000 worth of debt. And then I'll have an extra income of $2,420 a month.
Give her a hand. Oh, my God. So she's going to give herself a $2,400 raise in 2 years without getting an extra job. Is that amazing? Well, when you see your numbers, when Candace put your numbers on this board, it's going to be crazy, especially as young as you are. Guys, you guys are getting it. I'm excited that you're understanding the power of investing. The first place you got to invest in is your debt. Everybody see that? When you invest in your debt, it's going to automatically give you a raise inside your monthly household income. So always remember, I'm going to invest in my debt. I'm going to set up an emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months of income. We're going to start out with a mini emergency fund, which is about $1,000. That's your goal, to start about $1,000. And then we're going to start setting aside money every month to create that long-term emergency fund and simultaneously get out of debt and invest at the same time. All right? Hey, listen, I'm pretty much done. Candace, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's give Candace a hand.
You know, I think since we started there, we can actually stay there. We're gonna go ahead. Did everybody get a chance to do the calculator.net? Everybody had a chance? Let me see your hands so I can see who didn't get a chance. Okay, y'all did good. Okay, wonderful. What's I think is really funny is Mr. Randy and I were talking when he was here. He was like, nah, it just don't seem like that's true, kids. That just can't be real. And it does sometimes feel like that it's not real, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. Is it okay if we share? Okay, so when I looked at his numbers, remember last week we said when we do your what I spend worksheet, don't put what you pay, put what the minimum is. Y'all remember that? Well, Randy admitted, he was like, yeah, this is my minimum. He wrote it, and then he put what he paid on the outside. He already had an extra $88 that was going to the wrong place in his debt plan that could be allocated to his plan because he's overpaying his bills and never going to really pay the debt off.
In the wrong way.
And he paid it the wrong way. Does that make sense? And so what I told Randy, I said, well, Randy, we put $100 on the page. What if we did $200? Because he has plenty of cash flow. We could do that. He was like, okay, let's see. And so the thing is that we've never really put it down to be able to see the difference in what really being strategic with our debt plans could do for us. And that's what we want to do. So, y'all, it's okay if we start with the debt calculator so you all can understand what you see? Because we want to make sure we do that. Cool? That sounds good? Okay, let's do that. I told y'all the wrong thing last week, so I can admit I messed up. So glad I'm not perfect. That's too much pressure. It's calculator.net. I think I put an S on it. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Huh. Don't sue me, okay? All right, we're going to go ahead. Jamil's helping me out so we can make sure we get the connections and stuff together on the computers.
Hey, while she's doing that, who's driving the black Altima over there with the F5 tags to it? Got F5 on the back of the tags. Somebody's driving the black Altima on this side.
It was here when I got here.
It was here when you got here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, he missed a treat there.
Oh, got it. Somebody, yeah, probably so. Because I was wondering the same thing. All right, awesome. Those of you who have your plans, y'all didn't talk. What's your debt freedom number? How many years? 7 years, 5 years. Y'all raised y'all hand like y'all did it. So that means we got to know what's the numbers. 10 years, good. 5.5 years. 4 years, man, that's a house too.
On the mortgage, I have to, and my car, his car, and their credit card, we have no debt.
That's a big deal.
Wow.
That's a big deal. 4? That's nice. Man, how much money we be having? It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I love it. Anybody needed help with their debt plan? Come on, we here. This is the first 30 minutes. That's what we're doing. So if you need help or don't know how to read it, we're gonna read it together in a second.
You know, down at the bottom where it say like apply, like one additional, I don't know, I ain't know exactly what to put right there. That's
Okay,
the number to put.
say it again.
Oh.
There we go. I got a document. Okay, here we go.
Down at the bottom where it got extra payments,
Yes,
it's asking like, I know the $100 per month will equal $1,200 per year, right?
yes.
And then it say like blank a one-time payment during the 5th of the month.
I got you. Don't worry about that. We're gonna go over it right now. I only want you to put it in one spot, which is that one payment every month. No, don't worry about any dates or anything. But we're gonna do it together. All right, perfect. So, Jamil, you driving for me? All right, perfect. How do we navigate this? Somebody tell me. What are we supposed to do first? Okay, there we go. Yeah, y'all got me. All right, in the free online calculators, put in debt, and we're gonna go to which one? Yeah, y'all done this before. I like it. All right, good. And then you're gonna see the numbers there to where you can put your numbers in, right? Do me a control plus. Let's try 2 times, see what happens. We want to make sure the online community can see real good. Yeah, that's good. All right, perfect. So we're gonna put in some numbers here. It's gonna be great. Is these my numbers? Oh, they're pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, we did good. All right, everyone have theirs. I'm gonna use an example, and let somebody. No, I don't want to use y'all's numbers. Let's use an example. So auto loan, we got $24,195 at 519, and the interest rate is 6.9. Home mortgage is $249,500. Monthly payment $1,525. Interest rate 4.25. Did y'all find it easy that whenever you used your debt payoff, right? You could just, your what I spend, you could just take the number and slide it over there. Did y'all find that easy? So when we say, hey, everything adds together, you kind of see why and what we're saying. All right. So then you got Dillard's $55.49. Payment is $210. Super high rate. Yeah. Then you got Capital One. Yeah, Capital One on there. So we got Dillard's, we got Capital One. Did I include some student loans in there too? All right, Jamil got it. She hooking us up. All right, good. So we can go faster. One of the things that a couple of us were talking about before you all got here is how can we create the time to do better with our finances? Now, you don't have to raise your hand, but do you find that whenever you're in class and it's like, okay, I'm gonna work on it, but then you wait till Monday and it'll be like, it was it was holiday. Okay, well, well, this is what I'm gonna tell you. If you're having a hard time, and honestly, this is just with good life management, you want to create yourself what's called focus time inside of your calendar. If you're at work, no matter what you're doing, create that focus time so you can have designated time to work on your finances. It's super important if you're having a hard time, because something you're being avoidant with, it's okay, but just create the time, even if it's just a couple of hours a week, and don't let that day be Monday right before you come to class. Okay, so if you have trouble with it, how about we write that down right now? I think she's finished, but how about you write that down right now? What day and time are you going to focus on your finances? What day and time? Let me know when it is. Thank you. What day and time? And if you have a husband and wife team, it's super important because you all could do this together. That could be y'all's money time. Call it that. Okay? What day you pick? Saturday. A lot of Saturdays. Wednesday. Sunday. Somebody else? Tuesday. Right after class, so it's fresh. Okay, that's cool. But you got to keep that going when class is over, though. Anybody else? What day you pick? Or do you already have a day? Be intentional. That's the point. Okay. At the bottom, so she has all the numbers in. We got quite a bit of debt. At the bottom where it says extra payments, you will see where it says extra payments per month. You only want to put your number there. All right? This example has $100 in it. Many of you have $100 in your example. We can find $100, yes? Okay. Y'all wasn't confident about that. Can we find $100? Yes. All right.
The family is good.
So don't worry about the extra payments per year. Don't worry about the one-time payments made on a different day of the week, month, all that stuff. Don't worry about that. Just do $100 per month. That's all we're looking for. We got it? And then it says fixed total amount toward monthly payment. We're going to put yes. It's only one time. That's all we're doing. And then we're going to click calculate. All right. Now, at the top, it says you can pay off your debt in 120 months, which in this example is 10 years and 6 months by making fixed payments every month. Now, it's going to give you the 3,000 number. That 3,000 number is just saying that's how much your fixed payments are monthly. That's not saying that's how much you're actually going to apply to debt, okay? Now, it says of which $100. So you already paying the amounts you're paying. All we doing is applying an extra $100. That's what we're starting with. Anybody use more than 100? Okay, couple, good. $100 extra in your monthly payment. You'll need to pay the total of, this example has $438,000 in debt. And they got 10 years to take care of it. Some of y'all thinking like, man, that's a little more than what I got. That's how it works. The more debt you have, it's actually, you pay it off faster. So let's talk about how this looks in the payoff period. I think that's the part that may be kind of confusing you guys. So when it gives you the debt, it's saying, scroll up just a little bit. In this example, it says number 3 is Dillard's. Pay Dillard's first. That's what they said. We're going to pay Dillard's off first. It gives it to you in the number of which debt to pay off first, second, and third. We listed it as debt number 3, but we're paying it first. We together? They said for 17 months, which is a year and 5 months. Seems like a long time, but it's okay. Because how much extra are you using? How much extra are we using? Some of y'all don't have no real belief. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not saying it, okay? It's $100. The minimum payment on the actual amount, let's see what it was. What was it? 86. It's in my hand. Good job. Thank you. The minimum payment for Dillard's is $210. But instead of paying $210, in the top right corner, it says pay $310 until month 12. So you're going to pay an extra $100, which is $310 instead of the $210. You're going to do exactly what it tells you. And then you're going to pay $375 until month 13. So in 1 month, you're going to pay a little bit of extra. Y'all follow me? But it's not anything more than the $100 that you already had set. And every other debt, you pay the minimums. You don't not pay the debt, y'all. You're going to pay everything on time, and you're going to pay the minimum, and we're going to apply extra $100 to Dillard's in this case, and we're going to do that for about a year and some months. Now, if you have any extra money, what are you going to do with the extra money? We're going to put it on who? Dillard's. Why are we putting it on Dillard's and not the other stuff? Because we're trying to knock Dillard's out, right? Don't listen to that. Don't worry about what the interest rate is. You paying that debt off because it's actually the lowest debt in their plan. You don't pay your debt off based on the interest rates. We've heard that in the world, in the industry, it's not true. You pay the debt off based on the amount of debt. The lower debt you start with first, and then we go from there. Anybody want to tell me why that is? It's the snowball effect, but the reality is that you get motivated when you pay that one off. It's like, ooh, I got one down, I can do the next one, right? Because the number's so low, you can knock it out faster. We together?
Yes.
Does this make, okay, that helped. Was that helpful? Yes. All right, we ain't got to go through this whole thing, do we? All right, we good. Everybody got their plan? If you don't have a plan, we need a plan. We're going to be here again next week. I only had about 4 of y'all early this week. It's all right. It don't matter what you was doing. If you don't have a plan, we doing a plan. We ready to do a plan? Yes, ma'am. All right. Now, let's look at, can you go to bankrate.gov, bankrate.com? Let's look at what happens if you take this extra money. Now, real quick, I can't make her do this and do that at the same time. So this is what I'm going to tell you. What we talked to Ms. Janice earlier. She said I had an extra $2,100 in 7 years. She'll have an extra $2,100 a month. Yep. So from there, go to search. Oh, there it is. They got it at the top. We're going to look at what if she invested that money. She was earmarked to be in debt for how long? 30 years. She was earmarked to be in debt for 30 years. That meant her mortgage and all the things that she was paying for, she was going to be paying it for the next 30 years. I'm going to be real clear. Instead of that, she took $100 a month. She's going to apply the extra to her debt, and we're going to start with, let's say she's not going to use all the $2,000. Let's just say she's going to use $1,000. Can we say $1,000? We're going to let her go do something else. $1,000. $1,000 she start with. She's going to put $1,000 in a month, and she's going to save herself, what, about 15 years? She had 20. She did 23, 30 years, and she got 23 years. $1,000 in 23 years. Yep. Interest rate, we're going to be real modest. Deacon Thomas, modest 10? All right, let's be nice. 10. 10 is the lowest I'm going to go, honey. We need all the doubles, okay? All the doubles. Now, if she does this, I want you to see what we did, right? She gave you a sneak peek. If she takes $1,000 of the $2,100 that's created after the next 7 years of her saying, you know what, I'm going to be disciplined. It's just $100. I'm going to do right. I'm not going to eat out. I'm going to do everything I can do to get that $100 extra on my payments. Y'all know how much money that is? $1 million. That's $1 million. Everybody say $1 million. $1 million. That she can have in her pocket instead of paying that debt for 23 years. She got a plan in her Money Matters class that they did at her church for free that told her to use $100, and she changed her life and her family's life and the trajectory of the people coming after her forever. Most people, especially culturally, don't retire with anything close.
Can we talk about the breakdown
Yeah.
of what she actually put in?
So, interest earned, total contributions, and initial deposit. She put in how much money? $1,000. Over that time frame, she paid in of her money $276,000, which would have went to her mortgage alone. Facts. Oh, we ain't got time for the mortgage calculator tonight, but we're going to get to that. I know. $276,000 at 10%, which is the lowest that will teach you that you really could be getting on your money consistently. $729,000 of it was somebody was telling her how to be smart. That's money that grew for her. Do we understand that? Y'all with me? This is bankrate.com, simple savings calculator. We didn't make up nothing. We went straight there for y'all. Bankrate.com, simple savings calculator. The numbers don't lie, y'all.
Show me 2% more in interest. I'm just curious.
2 more?
Yeah.
So Deacon Thomas real aggressive. He said, you know what, let's just look at 12% instead of 10. Them the kind of numbers we like right there, okay? 12% is 1.3 thousand. I'm sorry, 1.3 million.
Now do me a quick snippet. Jump over to Fidelity real quick and let them know this is real.
All right. He want to go ahead and give y'all a sneak peek. We're going to do it because he said so, fidelity.com. I like it. Well, the thing is that we want to make sure that it's real to you that they do have funds that have 10, 12, 15, 20% kind of things. All right. So let's go to products over on the side. Yep. Yeah, mutual funds. Good, scroll down. And let's do Explore, Morningstar, highly rated. Yep, there you go. Perfect. 4-star on the overall over here. Returns want to be high. Yep. Expenses middle. Good. Scroll. We'll teach y'all this later. Explore. Blue view. There you go. We just want to go faster.
Select second.
The second was select semiconductors. Yeah, that one. Semiconductors. Perfect. All right. Now this is gonna be a little small. The online community probably can see it better, but it's great. Don't go too high. Let's just do something real quick. I want you to take a look, and you may not can see this, but it says a 1 year average. Can anybody see that at the top right here? No. Go to stay at summary. Yep. Last year's 1 year average, so 12 months from today, because we're as of 1/31. Do me a favor, go big, yes, you're right here. There you go, scroll, here we go. What does that say? 57%.
You bought that 12.
If you bought that a year ago. 3 years ago, 23%. 5 years ago, 32%. And we're averaging about 26% over the last 10 years. So we said 10%, but what if you were getting amazing funds like this? Y'all can say, wow, because that's a big deal. Y'all like, man, this is real? Does this make sense? So the reason, and we went off track just a second. We want to show it to you because it's a real thing and it's something that we can do. You all believe we can do this? Sometimes whenever somebody say, you can have $1 million, it just sounds good, but they're not showing you how. We're showing you how. This is not like fluff and hype. It's your money. And sometimes we got to look at what it looks like for us not to do it, because if Miss Janice decides, and she let me use her as an example tonight, I'm not going to find that $100. Okay. It's her money, right? I'm not going to do the debt plan. I'm not going to stay consistent. I'm not going to do what I need to do for myself. And she can throw her $1 million out the window because most of the time we just ate it up anyway.
Just quick to bank rate, real quick.
All right?
Say if Ms. Janice had this fund 10 years ago, if she knew what she do now and put that $1,000 in it, what would it look like? Averaging 26% is what it actually did. Yeah, just for 10 years, not just 10 years.
Let me explain what he said. So he said, what happened if she would have did this 10 years ago in that fund? 10 years ago, in that fund at $1,000, just $1,000, she would now have $477,000 at that rate. Because 10 years ago, did y'all see Fidelity? Let's make sure we're following. Go back to Fidelity real quick. 10 years was 26%, an average of 26% over the last 10 years. So with that number in the simple savings calculator, we're at $477,000. She could have decided to retire today if she wanted to. The time value of money is extremely important. Our delay in not doing cost us just as much as actually moving forward with the process quicker. Just as much. Does that make sense? All right, y'all breathe a little bit. Breathe. It's okay, but we need you to see what happens if you don't do it. That's tonight. Tonight. This is the kind of night. What happens if you don't? We perish because of lack of knowledge, but then many of us, we come to class and we do nothing after we leave class. So we got to start doing better consistently. All right? Let's go back. Any questions? Any questions? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. No bad questions, y'all. No bad questions.
Got a question over here.
All right? I'm going to get you a mic real quick. They hear you better on online, too. Right. Oh, I thought it was her. I'm sorry.
She's making a deposit of $1,000. How often?
Monthly.
Monthly, okay.
Yes. Because you remember where the money came from? It was money she had already planned to pay on all the debt.
Can you do that with a shorter time?
Yes.
I know you did 23 years. I might not be here in 23 more years.
That was 10 years, what we just showed.
It was 10 years.
That was 10 years. Hey, are you leaving? Right now? You leaving? Okay. All right. So you see the 10?
So 1,500 of the 2,100. So you can see the real effects of it. You should have did this 10 years ago, did the extra 1,500 instead of 2,100.
So he's saying use $1,500 instead of $2,100. That's a 10-year example. That second example is a 10-year example. The more money you put in it, the more money you make. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Question? I got you next.
So we're looking at this after the time frame that you paid off all the debt. Say, for example, her at the 2,100.
Can you speak up for me?
Okay, we're looking at this after, for example, with this young lady the $2,100 and she's doing the 1,000.
Sure.
Are we only, what if someone wants to start putting the money in before? Like, are we only doing this process after we do the debt paid off?
No. We were showing the example so that you could see what life could look like. What if she didn't have enough cash flow to do it right now, right? This is just an example of after the fact. The thing is, you can start now if you have the cash flow to do it. It's the sooner you start, the better.
So the example is, we're getting our, the plan together, and, okay, so someone said 7 years, 5 years, 2, okay.
Right.
So when they found that extra money,
Yes.
they could actually say, I think the young man he found 500. So if he wanted to go ahead and start doing 2, he could do that and then still pay the extra 3 to the bills.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the thing is about finance is that your plan is your plan. So if you say, okay, Candace, I'm gonna use this $200 instead of 100, but then I'm gonna take the extra 300, I'm gonna invest 300, I'm gonna spend 200 on this plan, and I'm out of debt in 3 years, and I'm investing. You could do that because it's your plan. There's no box, okay? And we're not giving you box plans. That we can't. And that's why it's like, do your plan so we can talk to you about the best plan for you. Does that make sense? Yes, a good point. Good point. Question right here.
On the bank rate with the Dillard's card, the first initial pay, can you go back to the payments? It was, so what was the debt on the Dillard's card?
5549 on the
Okay.
sheet. Yeah, it didn't go to the. It didn't pull my numbers in the wrong spot.
Your capital loan was the lowest.
Was the lowest. Okay, I'll fix it later.
I think that just flip-flopped.
It just flip flopped down on me. That's cool. What was your question, baby?
So
I'm
the
sorry.
question is, the $963 payment until in between month 13 and month 16, where is that $963 coming from? Are we just not paying Capital One and personal?
No. Good question. You pay your minimums on everything. Pay your minimums on everything. Never not pay your credit cards because it kills your credit score. Pay your minimums on everything, and you apply your extra 100 to this plan. As you continue your plan, what happens is that you're creating more and more money inside of your financial plan, because the credit card is still that amount. But because you're paying it down, more money is being created. So they're saying, oh, well, you got extra money. It's not really extra money. It's money, your payment is not as high. It's $210 because you owe $5,000. But when you get it down, technically it's creating more money in there, but you're not gonna take the money and move it somewhere else. You're gonna keep applying it to that same debt. Does that make sense? Do your plan and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do one.
One more?
No, I think we can go to another calculator real quick.
Okay.
Can we go to my income calculator in the back real quick? One thing, 1 second. The reason I say that because some calculators.
I know my login, I'll get it.
Some calculators use the highest interest rate first, okay?
Yeah, go to,
And some calculators use the lowest debt first. So I'm trying to look at 2 different calculators real quickly here because I'm thinking this calculator might be using the highest interest first, okay? Understand that the highest interest is not the one that's going to pay your debt off faster. The lowest debt is the one that's going to pay you off faster. What that means to the lowest debt, if you got $100 and you're applying it to the lowest debt first, that means that debt's going to be paid off in 5, 6, 7 months. Now that excess money is going to roll up. Now you got extra money to pay toward the other debt. So I want to use a calculator here real quickly. I'm going to try to demonstrate that to you what I'm talking about on the interest payments. They're going to put that in there. Now why are they putting that in there? Here's what I want you guys to understand the purpose of these exercises. These exercises are designed to show you how to control your money, take charge of your money. See, we're conditioned from the day we buy a mortgage or whatever, we're supposed to pay it for 30 years. That's our mindset. So that money's already been earmarked inside our minds and also inside our payment systems. I'm going to pay this mortgage for 30 years. But we're trying to show you that you don't need to ever pay a mortgage over 10 years once you understand this. And that way you can recapture the money that you were going to pay into debt and now pay it to yourself into investments. It's the same money. It's already been earmarked to be paid out for 30 years, but we're going to get rid of it early, right? So if I got that same money earmarked for debt, now I'm going to put it into what? Investments. So instead of just retiring with a mortgage that's debt-free, now you're retiring with a mortgage that's debt-free, and plus you can take that same money and become a millionaire by just repositioning how you think and how you see your money. That makes sense? See, you can be intentional. We go out and buy $60,000, $75,000 cars. We pay them off in 7 or 8 years, don't we? Why can't you pay a mortgage off in 10 years? So this is to understand that finding your cash flow is where your wealth at. When Candace talked about the W-2, the tax stuff and all that, and looking at your spending plan and finding that extra $300 or $400, that's your cash flow. So when you get that cash flow, what do you do with it? You be intentional. You take that cash flow, you start getting rid of this debt off your back, because you don't want to be working all your life servicing debt. And that's what happens when you got debt. Every time you get paid, every time you get paid, you're taking that money and you're doing what? You're servicing debt. Servicing debt. And that's why you got to understand credit card debt. She's going to talk about that too. We pay our credit cards down, and what do? Charge them back up. We pay them down, we charge them back up. So that 18, 90, 29% interest, we're paying it year in and year out. We're never getting out of the debt to take our money to put it to real good use. So it's very important to understand this exercise today. Are you guys able to get it all in? Are we close? Okay, 1 second. Okay. I think this is a real example to prove that paying down the smallest debt first is going to pay off your debt a lot faster. We'll see you in just a second with that analogy that we're talking about. Okay. You guys got it all in? Not quite? Okay. Any questions while she's doing that? Any questions? Back there. Got a question, Marcus?
Pay off your house, you won't have interest to reduce your tax, and I'm like,
So what's your question?
I'd rather pay off my mortgage than have a credit on my taxes.
You guys hear what she just said?
If I itemize.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what she said? She says a lot of people don't want to pay off their mortgages because they think it's a tax deduction they can save taxes on. A lot of people think like that. When you pay your mortgage, you take the interest, at the end of the year, you write off your taxes, right? So let me ask you a question. Me and CPAs and I get into this all the time together. All the time we have arguments about this. We sit in the client's office, the CPA is telling the client one thing, I'm telling the client another thing. So I ask the CPA, if I got $1, you telling me it's okay to take that dollar and pay it out and get back 25 cents in a tax deduction? He said, well, yeah, you got to get the deduction. I said, why can't I take that dollar and keep 75% and pay it out in taxes? Which one makes more sense to you guys? Do you keep the 75 cents or the 25 cents? You keep the 75 cents. The tax laws have changed. So, Charles, how have the tax laws changed? Let me give you a prime example. If you are a married couple, you got about a $27,000 or $28,000 standard deduction. So what does that mean? If you got a mortgage that's costing you $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 in 1 year, isn't it? But if that $18,000 is not over your $27,000 or $28,000 standard deduction, can you write off the $18,000? Did y'all just catch that? Under the tax law, you can't write it off because your deductions do not go over the standard deductions. You can't write off anything that you're writing off over the standard deduction if you don't have the money there. Hit a household. What they got, $24,000? $21,000 standard deduction? One person working with somebody inside their household they're taking care of? That person's paying $1,000 on their house payment or $1,500 on their house payment. They're putting $500 a month inside their church or $300. That money's got to go over the standard deduction before you can write it off, ladies and gentlemen. But most people don't know that. The tax code is very, very simple these days. You make $50,000, you single, $12,000, $13,000 come off the top like you never made it just because you live in the United States. That's the tax code. So that's why when Candace talked about the tax code and understanding these things, and the only way to get around it, the only way you can shelter your income is that you got to understand the power of having a business. And she's going to have a whole session. We're going to talk on that. Are we there, guys? Okay. Yeah, they have some technology issues. I kind of like that, too, because I'm the old guy in the room. They're young. And they're having technology issues. But it's a good time to get your questions answered, though. Good questions. Good question. Okay, right here, got a question.
My question is, so if you have a lump sum of money and it can pay down majority of your debt, should I just continue snowballing it to build my credit score back up?
My recommendation is to snowball it and take the lump sum and put it into the investment. And that lump sum is going to be accumulating money and growing during that period of time while you're paying down the debt over a 5, 6, 7 year period. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. Any more questions?
Let's just say you fell into $10,000 tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
What would you do with it?
Well, two things I look at. Where's my current emergency fund? How much money I got set aside for emergencies? That's number one, okay? Number two, where's my cash flow at? Where's my cash flow? Is my cash flow, I'm only saving $200 a month, $300 a month, those kind of things? I might want to increase my cash flow leverage right there. So if I could, maybe pay off a couple bills, but not any major bills. Got to keep at least $7,000 or $8,000 money in my pocket. I may take $2,000 or $3,000 and pay down a few debts. But understand, the more debt that you have, the faster your bills pay off. The more debt that you have, the faster your bills are going to pay off. So, Charles, why do you say that? Well, as I'm paying off debt, I'm picking up new money from debt that's being paid off. That money snowballed into the next bill. So the more debt you have, the faster you're going to pay off. If you take the $10,000 and go apply it toward debt, that debt's going to extend probably for another 3 years before it's paid off because you don't have any excess money to power toward that debt. Okay? So you get lump sums of money, guys. Take some of that money and invest it. Invest it. You know, we're going to be talking about this stuff in the investment class, but just take last year, for instance. Let's just take this year. If you had $10,000 and you invested into Nvidia stock, which is a semiconductors company, which right now is at 47% up for the whole year, you'd earn $4,700 in 2 months. But see, if you don't know how to do that, you can't do that. Yeah. That's my whole point, is that you can grow your money in certain trends if you know where to put your money. That's what this class is all about, teaching you how to take control of your money and know where to put it and when to put it. That mutual fund that Candace showed you guys over the last 10 years has earned 26% over the last 10 years. That mutual fund has been around since 1985, 29 years. For 29 years, that mutual fund has averaged 14% a year for 29 years. See, but the banks want us to, I'm sorry, Marcus, but
you're fine.
The banks do want us to put our money inside of their 3 and 5% CDs. And they take your money and they go invest it like this, and they get the towers they live in off of your money. Just because you don't know. You know, every $1,000 you put inside of a bank, they can lend it out 10 times under the Federal Reserve laws. They can leverage your money. The big, large banking houses, they've got Forex on the top of their buildings, trading Forex funds, all kind of stuff. See, we don't know how money works. At the end of this class, you will know how money works. And you will know where to be putting your money. Yeah. Are you good? Okay. What those numbers look like? Okay.
Yeah, it's 90% done. Okay, how's the family? Family's good. I just want to take a quick moment and do our attention to our dinner for the night. It's sponsored or catered by Smackies, sponsored by Arvest Bank. Smackies Barbecue.
Delicious.
You want to give a real quick, 30 seconds, what you do, your business, tell the people how to contact you? I know it's off the top. He gonna give you a mic.
I'm not used to be putting on blast. Anyways, my name is Chad Mackey. I'm owner of Smacky's Barbecue. Smacky's and Catering. But I specialize in barbecue, but I do everything else. We pretty much do everything from meal prepping, catering services. We come do private dinners. We travel. We go to out of state to Oklahoma all the time. So I do pretty much anything you want. You can reach me on all social media platforms with Smacky's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you see, whatever, any type of social media. And then my contact number, I left cards here as well. So
Perfect.
pretty much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chad.
Y'all, it's real good, too.
It is.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, it's real good. You'll get to test it tonight. We'll have dinner in a few minutes. All right, so we went back old school. Write it down, crown.org. We need to check into the other system. It's all of them.
Crown.
CROWN. Yes, crown.org. Whenever you go to Crown, it's another debt plan system that we like, just so that you can make sure that you have it. And when we say have it, it's not really about the system being right or wrong. The systems are right. It's more about, can you read and make sure we identify how to go about doing it. We need it to be simple. That's really what we're looking for. And in order for it to be simple, we're just going to create our own. So next year, in the fall, you're going to be like, oh, that's y'all system. Yeah. We're just going to do our own. So go to Crown. Whenever you put your info in, you want to make sure you list your debt from which order? Smallest to the highest, right? So low debt to the highest debt. When you input that information, if you look at it on the screen, it'll actually tell you, keep paying your minimum payments, but you apply your extra payment to that one debt. And if you notice here, the capital one is that one debt that we were identifying during our time frame. Let me see if I can make that bigger. And so as you take a look, you'll see it's giving you payment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's each month. And it's going to take you all the way to month 12. See that? Month 13 changes the payment a little bit because you're at the end of that cycle for that payment. All right? You're fine. It's cool. We're not going to stay here long. The important part is for you to see that all the other months, yeah, you do. Can you scroll up for me? Thank you. All the other months down. Sorry, I said up. All the other months, you see Dillard's, where the minimums are, personal loan, where the minimums are. All of it's still staying the same for each month, so it's telling you which debt to pay each month. The mortgage, everything's staying the same. The only difference in this example is the Capital One payment that was, $157. Now it's $257, and you're going down all the way down to the 12th month, and then you're continuing from there. And the numbers change when you get to that 12th month because it starts to change again, like you mentioned earlier. The payments are going to drop because the amount you owe is lower, but you're still going to be making the extra payment money. It's still applying to that same debt. You're not going to take the money and move it somewhere else. Does that make sense? Y'all got me? It's okay. Do your plan, because this ain't going to make sense because it ain't your money. I promise it's going to make more sense when it's yours, and then we'll make sure you got it, okay? But make sure you do your own plan. Those of you who have the systems, you have them, use them. But we need a plan, and we need your debt-free numbers if you don't have them. That's pretty clear. Everybody got it?
What system did you use on the crown.org?
Debt payoffs, debt snowballs. So let's do a walkthrough on that. We'll make sure to email it to you after class, too. So if you go to crown.org, go to calculators and guides. If you scroll down, it'll say debt snowball calculator. Right there, you click it. Same process we did with the rest of them. You put in that same info from the What I Spend worksheet, and you'll put that data in the system. Okay? Same info that's on your What I Spend worksheet. If you do your first part of your assignments, everything else it goes step by step. All right. I did too, I'm going to be honest. We're going to figure out what the glitch is. On my paper, it doesn't show like it shows on there, so it must be something I clicked. I'm going to fix it, honey. Don't worry about it. Any other questions? Deacon Thomas did a wonderful job really explaining how this all comes full circle. Do we have any other questions before we get ready for dinner? No? Let's switch the computers out because I got 10 minutes, and I'll go ahead and do the first part, and then we'll do the second part. Did you all do your binders? Switched up real fast on you. You see that? Let's talk about what you supposed to do with us, okay? What was the assignment for the white bonders? All right, 7 through 10. Let us see it. What you got in there? Is it blank? Need a book? Okay, no problem. Both the white and the black? Okay, no problem. The white and the black book? You need the book? Okay, no problem. Got you. And did everyone get an extra document that says what a mess?
Maybe look at some binders.
Great. Yeah, we're trying to see what's in your white binder. If it's blank, start writing. Yes, you. If it's blank, start writing. Okay. There we go. All I need to see is writing. I don't care who it is, just somebody in there. Good. Okay. Oh, look at you doing your homework. I see you. I see you. Good. That's all right. Hey, listen, don't worry about that. Just write it. Me too. I just got the plane. I showed up for the people. So that don't matter. Just show up. You showed up. You got it wrote out? Okay. You ain't trying, you're doing. Try is a premature excuse just in case you don't succeed. What'd you say? A pen? Yeah, I think. Marcus, we don't have no pens. We're going to take one of those, yeah. I'll go for it. You got it. I'm Roman. I'm going to go have a seat. My feet hurt. Okay, got to do it again. Yeah, it's weird. You got the PowerPoint up? Good. My computer is delicate. Did you change anything on the view? The amount of the policy, can you just copy that page? We would like you to put the whole policy in the book, but you don't have to do that. At least take that page and put it in there so they can know who to contact. Y'all follow me? You know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about? Shake your head. No. So if you have an insurance policy, even if it's on your job, and they send you papers or some kind of email that says this is the policy you've signed up for, you don't have to print the whole policy. Just take the page that shows your information, which is your policy number, the amount of the policy. Take that first page and put it in your binder so that you say you got insurance, great. Put it in there so we can see, and if somebody comes behind you, they know who to contact. We together? You know they have whole systems that says, oh, you got free money out here in the world that nobody ever claimed. You know that's a thing? It's a thing. So we don't want nobody to have, I hadn't checked, but I need to check. We don't want nobody to have no free money on us, okay? We want all our money. And the reason it happens is because people pass away and their loved ones don't come get the policy money. Second. What's it called? I don't even know. What's it called? State auditor? Something like that. It's like the state claiming. Yeah, there we go. Claim. Say it again. Claim AR. Yeah. I ain't say nothing you want to listen to. Nope. Well, you learned it. We good. Now just mess with you. Put your policy deck page or your information page in your binder so that people can find your insurance. Are we ready for food? All right, let's pray. Y'all hungry? Online, we know y'all hungry too, but y'all got to eat your own food, because when you come in the house of the Lord, when we talk about money, you get to get fed in your brain and, in your belly, and it's going to be good. In Jesus' name. Lord, before we ask you for anything, we thank you for everything. Thank you for allowing us to be in this space, in this place, in your name. Lord, we ask you to bless the food. Let it be a nourishment to the body, and anything that does not belong and not good and well, please take it out. In Jesus' name, amen. Support them, so that's important to us. All right, so the last time we did class, it was one of those time frames where we were talking about really getting into the student loans and going over that process. We're not going to go deep into that today. We just want to be very clear that you have if you have student loans, you're on a payment plan of some kind. If you ignore them, they will mess your credit score up. It's over. There is no more assistance, all that stuff. Get a plan. Everybody got it? Everybody say get a plan? All right, studentloans.gov, you can go there, create your account, use your email or your social to create that account and just ensure that you have a plan. Those of you who have children, people that live in the house with you, make sure you answer the questions properly based on your situation. Very, very important. All right? Make sure you know who your servicer is when you go into the account. And if you have multiple loans, you should consolidate your loans. All right? I'm just giving a brief overview just because this is essential. And the process for student loans is very different. Gotcha. It's very different than it used to be. It's not just I can ignore them kind of thing, because they are aggressive these days because they've been off for so long. All right? Got a question? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so when you say you have student loans consolidated, if you only have, instead of leaving it a process.
Give me 1 second. They're gonna get you a mic because it's long and I won't be able to repeat you. 1 second. I got you right here. And I'm gonna say this is gonna be my last time walking to you, okay?
Speak it to her.
Listen,
So
I'm
in
young,
reference to
but I've
student
been walking
loans,
to the airport all day. Give me a break.
in reference to student loans, do you mean like inclusive of federal student loans, or are you saying consolidate if you have private student loans?
This is in reference to federal student
Only
loans.
federal student
Normally,
loans.
private student loans won't let you make really many changes at all, unless you get another big loan to take care of that loan. So no.
Okay, and then with consolidation, are you saying, so with federal student loans, they give you a loan servicer?
Yes.
Are you saying, can you kind of give some more information when you say consolidate those loans? Because just so I'm clear on that.
Gotcha. So your loan servicer can be one person, but when you went to school, they give you certain types of loan. They may give you an unsubsidized loan, a subsidized loan, and then you went to school 10 semesters and you got loans for each one of those semesters, right? It's a different loan for every semester. Every one of those loans has a different interest rate. And if you don't consolidate them, you add your interest rates up and you're paying 20-some% interest on all your loans. What we say is you take all of those federal loans, you consolidate them in one, and now they give you an average rate of what your rate would have been on all 10 of the other loans. Call it 10. Okay? So now you consolidate, and instead of having 10 rates, we got one rate that's the average, which is lower, right? And you make that one payment to that loan servicer, whoever it's going to be. What I tell people is before you go and choose your servicer, consolidate your loans through studentloans.gov.
So then what if your servicer was not, you didn't
1
select
second.
What if you didn't select your services? The federal government just provided a service.
They normally do that if
Yeah.
you've taken a long time to select your servicer. So
Don't
you
judge me.
still, no, judgment,
I'm just
don't
joking.
no judgment. But what happens is you still can consolidate, won't hurt anything. That servicer should have that opportunity to do so, for you to consolidate there. So what I would do, I'd go to studentloans.gov first.
Yeah.
I'd go look and see what it's saying, and you may not even have the option to consolidate there if they've already chose your servicer.
Yeah.
You'll have to go to that servicer site and consolidate there. But
Okay.
do not allow them to let you make multiple payments, and
Yeah.
even they may even say, oh, it's just one payment, because
Yeah.
they know they ain't getting over on you. They know they making more money
Yeah,
if you keep those loans separate.
yeah.
Okay?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Also, don't be surprised in the case that they say, oh, well, we're going to put your subsidized here and your unsubsidized here. They may give you 2 loans, but it ain't 10. So it's okay. As long as you don't have 10 different loans, in that process. We together? Yes. All right, perfect. I'm so glad I did. I was gonna take this out. I was like, oh, they don't need no student loan stuff. I'm just kidding. I really thought about it though. Look at the Lord. The Lord did it. The Lord. Okay, one other thing. If you work for nonprofits, healthcare, those kind of industries, make sure you take advantage of public service loan forgiveness. If you work at a location and you make 120 payments, which is 10 years of payments, let's just be very clear, the time's gonna go by anyway. So make the payments you have to do. Now, they did some modifications to where you didn't have to do the on-time thing. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you are aware of what you qualify for, because let me tell you how this works. When you make your on-time payments, let's say you owe $100,000 in loans, and over that 10-year period, you pay $25,000 of the amount. They say if you work for some of these organizations, we're going to wipe out that other $75,000 that you owe. Somebody got it? You got it? Raise your hand, you got that before. Come on, waved. That's what I'm talking about. Say it again. Did you get it? You got your stuff waived. Next year, she on the plan. That's it. This time next year, we're going to get you up here and we're going to talk about it when it happens. Yes, that is a strategy. So I'm going to repeat it in just a second. So what I'm encouraging you to do is just make sure you know what you qualify for. Some of you may actually qualify, you don't even know. Check to see if your hospital is a nonprofit. And honestly, you work at a hospital, so it's likely that you qualify. Yes. As on time, so they're going to give you a mic. You got to ask again. We like to hear your voice.
It was practice.
Good practice for you.
Oh, so during the pandemic, when you didn't have to make a payment, did that qualify for on-time payment?
Yes, as long as
So
you
that's a
signed
part
up
of the
for it.
120?
Yes,
Okay, thank
that's
you.
a part of the process. That's correct. Those were payments to them. What they were doing is they were allowing the government to subsidize those, and it would be no payments to us, but they were still considered on-time payments, as long as you signed up for the plan accordingly. That's why we can't ignore things. We have to make sure that we do our part. Okay? We together? How's the family? All right. Take action. No matter what you do, just go do something. All right, everybody has the document that says, what a mess. This is my favorite session. One of them. I mean, I like them all, kind of. I don't like it when I got to be real hard on y'all because y'all don't be listening. Because y'all don't be hearing me until I start talking crazy to you. I really feel like that, just so y'all know. I got to be hard on you for you to be like, oh, she's serious. Yes. All right, we ready? Everybody got the document? If you don't, let us know. Raise your hand. We'll get you one. Everybody got it? All right, cool. So what happens if I don't pay my debt off? It go to collection? That's a thing, too. Absolutely. Well, let's talk. So one of the first things, I always like to have quotes and stuff that be in my mind. So the first manifestation of wealth is never money. The first manifestation of wealth is never money. Let me ask you a question. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Okay. Mike, LeBron, Bill Russell, depends on the times. All right, we can agree to that. Let's just call it Mike. Let's call it Mike. I really don't, Yeah. Okay. Then let me ask you a question. Mike played basketball. He became very wealthy with basketball. Can you tell me, did his skill come first or did the money come first? Makes sense, right? So when we think about the skill of Mike developed his skill when he was young. He began to work at it, practice, all the things, yes? And as he did that, he ended up being introduced to the right people, getting in the right doors. His mother was amazing. She made big things happen. I don't know if y'all seen the movie, but it was amazing, right? All the things, chips aligned, all the things. Well, guess what? He still developed his skill, and he had to develop himself mentally, emotionally, all the things before he actually got to the money. Y'all agree? So the first manifestation of wealth is never money. it's always your mentality. It's always your understanding of where you're going and all the things you're going through to know how to get to the wealth. I'll tell you, most people who are handed down money never do good with it. Y'all know that? Easy come, easy go. Well, from that perspective, it's only like that because they most times were never developed mentally to understand how to keep the money and to hold on to what they were given. So we have to make sure that we're developing ourselves to understand we're not just going to go from A to Z in the wealth game if you weren't taught how to get A, B, C, D, all the other stuff in the middle. Y'all with me? So our process that we're going through, and we say, hey, do this, hey, do that. We have 6 sessions over 5 weeks, all the things so that we can do it step by step together. The first manifestation of wealth is never money, but it's definitely a commitment for us to be able to be here together and for you all to do the process so that you can get to wealth. We together? Yes. All right. What a mess at the top of your sheet. It says interest. It's time for you to write, so you got to put that barbecue sauce on the side. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put a little on your paper. Make sure you knew what night it was. I'm just kidding. At the top, it says interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance you cannot afford. I said it real fast, but it's on the screen. Write it down. If you online, I sent you a document. This document, you are welcome to, write on this document. It's going to be great for you. And I sent it early. You should be proud. I don't always do that. All right. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. Let's give an example. Anybody got an example of this? A car. I can't pay the car in full right now. It costs me $30,000. I don't have $30,000. The dealership says, I'm going to give you a rate of 5%. I'm going to let you get the car in advance because you can't afford to give me the $30,000. But I'm going to charge you 5% on that money that I'm giving you, and now you're going to pay me extra. So the extra is the penalty so I can get the car now, and I'm going to pay on the car. We agree? That's how that works. Everybody's following me? Yes. Perfect. So if interest is the penalty to get that thing that makes me feel good and have that instant gratification because I couldn't afford to buy it, let's see what that penalty really costs us over time when we don't pay our debt off. And the example tonight will be a credit card. Y'all ready? Oh, this is my favorite. Oh, it's my favorite. Okay. Everybody got their sheet? Yes. Okay. Okay. You owe $5,000. Everybody write that down. How much? $5,000. That's the country way of saying it, just like that. $5,000. How much you pay every month? $100. $100 on $5,000. It's a real thing too, by the way, just so you know. Your interest rate is 21%. All right. We say that now till you look at them payments that you be making. It's like, oh, okay. A lot of times we don't feel the penalty because, and when I say penalty, we're talking about what? Interest. Okay, good. We don't feel the penalty or the interest in the process because it's built in, and a lot of times we don't even see it unless we really go looking for it. Right. And they do a good job. They ain't hiding it, but it's at the back somewhere. They ain't looking, it ain't right there in your face. Okay, your monthly rate. So we got to do some math. 21% divided by 12 gives you 1.75. I'm going to give you a little time. This is very important. I need you to write it down. Make sure you got it. Your monthly interest rate, 21% divided by 12 is 1.75. You can do this with your own credit card. Your interest payment, let's take it a little further. 0.0175 times 5,000. Anybody got a calculator? Help me out. Make sure my number's right. I mess up, Perfection is just too hard. 0.0175 times 5,000 is what? 8750. Now, I'm gonna make sure. Everybody is with me before we move. How much is your interest payment? I got mumbles, but I got one solid answer here. Somebody said what? $87.50. If you're online, how much is your interest payment? It's $87.50. What is interest? The penalty. I think y'all got it already. Boy, y'all do some good math now. Okay. Your principal payment is what? $12.50. The people at the front was like, oh no, this ain't working. But how many of us are guilty of just paying the minimum over and over and over again? We don't really see. Don't be doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hold on. Wait. He said, because you just told me to. Yes, for right now. Yes, and. You get the point. What happens is that we're not recognizing how it affects us if we don't do the debt plan. At the end of the day, yes, we told you to pay your minimums, right? And I don't want to be contradictory. We're not. The minimum is because you are attacking the debt that you're taking care of at that time. The thing is that you have a plan. Most of us are paying our minimums and we ain't never got no plan. That's the thing. So $12.50 is the principal payment. What's the principal? It's going toward the actual amount we owe, right? Toward the $5,000. So the rest of it is a tip. I like that, Jamil. Jamil say the rest, the $87.50 is the tip. It's a big one. We together? Yes. Does this not make sense to anybody? I'm gonna make sure we got it. Because what I'm about to show you next is just even, it's like sickening. Okay. Here we go. Okay, wonderful. How much did we start with? $100? That's how much we pay every month. Our interest, which is what? 21%. But what is interest? The penalty. Interest is what? The penalty. Everybody say interest is what? The penalty. Good. The penalty is not what I owe. It's what they let me borrow, so I'm just going to hey, thank you for letting me borrow it. Here's your amount. We together? Yes. The interest, which is the penalty, which is the tip that I gave the bank for letting me borrow, is $87.50 per month. How much is the payment? $100. $87.50. So $100 minus $87.50 is $12.50. How much we owe? $5,000. So $12.50 go toward what? $5,000. We together? I like that. Thank you, Ms. Shanice. Because see, somebody else didn't get it either, but now they got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, what's the reality? $5,000 divided by $12.50 is 400 months. Use your calculator. Make sure my number's right. I'm going to give you a pause because you're supposed to be writing it down. Use your calculator. I actually lied. I asked for a lie. I know. $5,000 divided by $12.50 is 400 months. Now, you don't even know where it's at. Whatever you bought, you don't even know. You have to imagine. It's a lot of years. Now, let's take it a little step further. Y'all ready? 400 months divided by 12 is how many years? 33. Y'all did the math? 33 years. Now, I know this seems extreme. Look at y'all all riled up. It's a real thing, y'all. It's happening every single day. And some of us feel a little sick on the inside because it's happening to us. I'm being honest. It's okay now because you know better. And when you know better, you do better. If you decide to do better, because that's a choice too. 33 years on one credit card. Now, what I'm going to tell you, though, this is what I'm going to tell you. This does not account for the fact of you paying it down, running it up, paying it down, running it up. That don't. Hey, I might need to make something, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we at church, don't y'all. We running it up at church.
Run it up. They call it the sentencing because it feels as if it's like a jail sentence when we look at our finances and we let them do this. It's not theft though. We gave it to them. They didn't rob us. We robbed ourselves in broad daylight. What your bank earned though? Now we love Arvest. Okay? We do. And they sponsor all that food y'all eating. And us being here, we appreciate and love them, but they got their own rules too. Every bank does. What's important is that you use the bank for the purposes that they're used for, and we make sure we keep our finances in order, so if we need the bank to give us some money, they'll give us some. Yes? It's fine that it costs, but I didn't use my money. I used other people's money, OPM. So you still be smart about how we do things, okay? But we love Arvest. Let's say that again. Okay, I will make sure. Got that on recording now. But the bank earns what? Y'all got the math? 87.50 times how many months?
Don't say it out loud.
How much money is that? $35,000. How much was the car, right? We bought a refrigerator, or sometimes we run the credit card up eating food, which is the worst way to spend money.
You must got the plug.
Boy.
Nino.
Right. So you got to think about it. Y'all riled up, too. I like it. Get mad about your money. It's your money. So you should probably take this document. Y'all ready? No, y'all not ready. How's the family? All right. So this is the thing. You might need to take this document, right, and put it on your refrigerator. That Lindsay said she read my mind. I was going to do the same thing. That's what she said. That's what I'm talking about, Lindsay. Listen, if you need a reminder to keep yourself together, put it on the refrigerator. Make copies. Give it to your spouse. Be like, we're not doing this no more. Because the reality, the numbers don't lie. That's all facts. Those are facts. Okay. Any questions about this real quick before I move? That was just on 5,000. Those are facts. We got a question? We okay? You say no, but yes? I understand. Did you learn something new? Yeah. Giving it away. Our lack of knowledge really, really costs us a whole lot of money, right? But the reality is that a lot of times we come to class, and I'm not being hard on you all, but I'm really being serious. We come in and we listen day in, day out, but now it's about making the changes and implementing the changes, right? It's not just about getting the information. Maya Angelou said, anything that works against you also can work for you once you understand the principle of reverse. So when we talk in our next class, we're going to talk about how this concept of interest can work for you, the same way we looked at those numbers earlier, of how compound interest and your money can work for you in the same capacity, but for you instead of against you. Y'all want to see that? We'll definitely show you. So we gave you a sneak peek earlier when Deacon Thomas said, Deacon Charles said, hey, let's pull up the numbers so they can really see. That's a real thing, but we want to show you how to get to that number and what it really means for your money to compound for you. Is that all right? We're going to do that. It's going to be great. It's going to be real great. There's 3 levels of wealth. You don't have a sheet for this, but you should totally write it down. I always like to talk about this concept because a lot of people get online and they hear, we're going to build generational wealth. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to build wealth for our children's children. And we don't have a real financial plan. How are you going to do that? 3 levels of wealth. First level is me, your personal wealth, your financial plan. Pulling it together for you is the number one way to start anything else. How are you going to help somebody else? You don't help you. When I was on the airplane today, the lady said, yes, when you put your mask on, if you're with a loved one or someone who's disabled, put your mask on first and then help the next person, right? You got to put your own life jacket on. You got to put your own mask on with your finances because it's so easy to get caught up doing for everybody else and being nothing to yourself. First level of wealth is who? Me. It's me. Second level is generational wealth. You have a wonderful, we already went over this, building a legacy, building generational wealth for our children's children. That's what we want. But you got to take care of you first, and then we help other people. And then you have this thing called transcendent wealth, to where the impact of what you do affects people that have nothing to do with you. You begin to impact those around you that aren't kin to you. You begin to have effects on them that are not associated with you. That's what we want. But if we don't get us together, we can't do none of the next steps. Time for action. So, let's talk about your next steps. Oh, Parkinson's Law. I almost forgot about that. Deacon Thomas, you want to talk about Parkinson's Law? I'm doing good? All right, I got it. A piece of me is having a brain fog. I'm going to even tell you. Can somebody help me? What's Parkinson's Law? I don't know. In my mind, I can't get it out right now. You got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. They got one. Yeah, help them out.
Thank you. Parkinson's Law. When the money increase,
There we go. Thank you.
so do the debts. You guys just catch that? You ever notice you said to yourself, man, if I could just make this much money, I could take care of my bills, I can save and I can invest. But as your money went up, so did your what go up? Your debt, your lifestyle. So as you're trying to save and invest money, you got to be aware of Parkinson's Law. It'll catch you without looking. You'll start buying stuff you don't need, having fun with your money, and not keeping everything in perspective. So in this class, keep everything in perspective. Take your raises every year. Don't increase your lifestyle with them. Just keep increasing your money. Put it into your 401k investments and things of that nature. Don't always find something to do with the extra money. Parkinson's Law.
Thank you, DC. All right. I really had a whole moment there. I appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about the assignment. Y'all ready? Yes. Your success steps for next week. Who's that? There we go. That'll work. White binder. Which pages are we on? 10? We did 10, so we're on 11 through 15? Is that right, Deacon Tom? Yep. 11 through 15. Pages 11 through 15 in your white binder. What's the pages? 11 through 15. Perfect. And then what was the other thing we said we were going to go back and do? We were going to go add what to that white binder? The insurance policies. Good. Good. And the policy should have the policy number and the amount of the coverage. That should we call it a declaration page, but it should be like a summary page that gives that information, okay? All right. It was something else. Next week we're talking about credit. Y'all ready to hear about that? Yes. Mark's gonna do a wonderful job. We need you to pull your credit reports though. Annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. It's free. It does not give you a score, but it at least lets you see what's on your report. Annualcreditreport.com. Yes.
What do you have, Credit Karma?
You got Credit Karma?
Can you use that?
You can use Credit Karma. That is fine. It gives you a list of those items on there. Normally, they give you a score, but it's kind of skewed. It's normally not right. But you can use that if you desire. We just like the annualcreditreport.com because it gives you the internal details of what's on your report. So you can use that, and that's fine. And that's good. Deacon Thomas was saying it also comes from the credit bureaus, which Credit Karma is a company, right? The credit bureaus is what's really reported, and that's who you really fight with. You don't fight with Credit Karma. So if you see something that's inaccurate on the annualcreditreport.com, you got somebody to go fight. You can't really fight Credit Karma, and it's third-party information, so it still may not be fully accurate. Okay. All right. Okay, that's next week. Deacon Thomas, one or two other things. Yes.
On that declaration page, is that for the life insurance? Is that for the life insurance or just the homeowners insurance and car insurance?
Yes, it's for all of it.
All of them?
Yes, all of it. We mentioned the deck page, especially for the insurance, so people can find it, but it's actually helpful for you to put all of those summary pages there. For what she said was home insurance, auto insurance. It's just helpful to have it in there because you're listing it. Just put a page to support your documents behind it. All right. Any other questions? Now, Deacon Thomas may have some more assignments for you, so come on up, Deacon. And Marcus, did we cover everything for next week that they needed to pull?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Give Candace a hand, guys. Great job. And you definitely don't want to miss this class next week. You get the inside scoop from the banker. Real important. He's going to share some information that you don't know what the bankers are looking for. So we thank Arvest. I also want to be real clear tonight that Arvest sponsors this. We're excited about them being a part of this. They've been a part of, what is it, about 8 years now, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been around, this is our 12th year. And Arvest came in about 4 years later. All the content you see on these screens, they're from the presenters. They create their own content. We don't work for Arvest. I want you to know that. We're all members of St. Mark, and we create our own content. I'm so excited tonight because I saw all the teachers here tonight. Are they still here? We've got Jamil. You going to be on tomorrow night too, Jamil? Okay, she's going to get the inside scoop on real estate. She's having a tremendous amount of success with that. You guys want to see how that works. Where's the attorney? Is he still here? David?
I think he slid out.
David? He's cleaning up? Okay. But we've got all the instructors here tonight, so I'm excited to have those guys here tonight. A few things I want to cover real quickly. My first question, though, did you guys learn anything from filling out your financial binders? What did you learn? Can I tell you what you learned real quickly? Why it's important? Raise your hand. Talk to me. Who got a mic over there? Okay, over here. Tell me what you learned, the importance of that binder.
It gave me insight to know exactly where my money is going.
Okay.
And then also,
Thank you.
like I told Ms. Candace, she said you're on the right track, but at the same time, when you don't know the terminology of certain things in the finance world, you don't know. So I remember the first day coming here, and you all were talking about all these life insurances, and I shut down 5 of them and was able to get $1,025.84 back. So
Wow. This
it helped me out a lot.
God bless you.
That's awesome.
Anybody else? What you learned from this financial advisor? I heard a young lady over here at this table, this young couple back here. Marcus, go over there. I want them to tell her story of what she's learned from this and what he's learned from this. Right? What's your name? Either one of you guys. Yeah.
So I learned that basically I'm paying for things and I don't know what I'm paying for. So I have just a little bit of my background. I'm military. I also work for the Postal Service. So I have a lot of different life insurances. We have policies he's paying for, I'm paying for. So we're spending a lot of money on the same things and not together.
You guys see that? It's an awareness. It's a different kind of consciousness about what's yours. it puts you in charge. That makes sense? So our goal is to make you the CFO, to make you the chief financial officer of your own life. And the only way you can do that, we got to start somewhere. We got to first start, where's the money going, right? Secondly, where's everything located? You know, where are the things for my house? The code numbers, the TV, and all that stuff. What kind of insurance do I own? Is it the right insurance? You start taking personal responsibility for your life and how you spend your money. That's really important. Because think about it, most of you guys and most people, if I asked you the last 10 years, if you're a married couple, took your joint income, and you did it times 10 years, and I said, could you write me a check for 10% of that? What would most people say? No. 5%, what would most people say? 1%, what would most people say? See, that's what we got to change to create that generational wealth. The young lady back there, because she's paying her house off 7 years early, she has an opportunity right now, in the next 23 years, still young, have $1 million. Now we just changed the trajectory of a whole generation because we looked at our money differently. Instead of spending our money, we hired our money to help us during our journey. See, that's the mindset shift. That's what this whole class is about. You shifting your mindset on how you see your money. Your money is a tool. You only have a limited amount of time between age 25 and around 65 to make that money. You want to make sure that you maximize the opportunity. We can't blame the credit card companies and those guys. It's called capitalism. You know, capitalism. You pay for stuff you don't know. You go buy an iPhone, but you make your own iPhone. Would you go buy one for $1,000? It's called capitalism, right? But we got to be smart about how we spend our money. Secondly, I do want you to know that in spending, I just want you to kind of think about this a little bit because a lot of times people don't want to invest or get their money in a place to invest because they're afraid, they have fear. When you put your money in investment banks, the Charles Schwab, the Fidelity, the BlackRocks, they're investment banks. That's your money, just like sitting in your traditional bank. You can go get that money anytime you get ready, so it's not tied up. I want you to take that fear away of you losing control of your money, okay? I want you to start changing your mindset and we start shifting and finding this money to invest in good tools. Okay. Credit Karma. If you don't have Credit Karma, I'm going to suggest you get Credit Karma. Can anybody tell me why? It's free. Well, it's free. That's one thing. What's the other thing?
It monitors your credit.
Okay. You hear it? It monitors what? Your credit.
And it makes suggestions.
Yeah, it makes suggestions on certain things you could do, of course. Of course, they're making money, but don't fall for all those credit card suggestions, okay? But Credit Karma is really, really good for monitoring your credit. What that means is that if somebody goes inside your credit file and access something, you're going to know immediately. They're going to send you a text or email. So we highly suggest that, okay? Let's see, I'm about done here. Student loans, financial binder. And there was one other thing I need to work on, Candace. Let me look over here and see. Where are the investment terms? What page is that on?
It's in the black binder.
In the black binder? Okay. Guys, put your black binder out. Your black binder. Because I want you to kind of start reading up on some of these terms here. Start the back part. Okay. Let's go to the net worth calculation sheet. What page is that?
24.
Okay. On page 24, it's called a net worth calculation form. Does everybody have that? The net worth calculation form. I need you to understand what that means when somebody say, what's your net worth? And it's real simple. That's part of your homework process. Just go through and put your net worth information. All it is assets versus liabilities and what's over, whether it's negative or positive. You got a negative net worth or a positive net worth. And our goal, of course, is to get you to a positive net worth.
We're going to email that terms document. It's not in here.
What's that?
We're going to email
Yeah.
terms document. It's not in there.
Yeah, okay. She's going to email you guys the terms, investment terms and stuff I want you to start looking at and reading over for the next couple of weeks to kind of get your mindset ready for the investment class we're going to be having at the very last class. You don't want to miss that class. Don't want to miss that class. We're going to talk about the 401k, your 403b, the Roth IRA, the traditional IRAs, the TSPs, the 457s, the 403s, all these things we're going to talk about. So make sure you get your mindset ready for that class, because that's where you're going to be able to come put all this together and decide, first of all, how to analyze your current retirement plans. When I say analyze, a lot of you guys got 401ks, 403bs, and all that kind of stuff, and you don't know how to go in there right now and analyze the funds that you can invest it in. We're going to show you how to analyze those funds. Very important. Then secondly, we're going to talk about the power of the Roth IRA. So in the meantime, start studying, really studying about that Roth IRA. I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but I want you to study on it. Any questions? Good time for questions. We're going to close out here in a little bit. Any questions?
We have a question online.
Okay.
They mentioned, and it was a good point, that they pulled their annual credit report because you get one free one every year. If you can't hear me?
Okay.
Can y'all
Oh,
hear me?
here? Okay,
Okay.
good.
If you pulled it last year during the fall class, you won't be able to pull it again because it's one free every year, and that's a year from when you pulled it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So just pull your information that you pulled the last time and see if you've made any changes. If you didn't do anything with it, then we're still working on it. But that Credit Karma still gives you the listings and the debts and everything that's there.
Here's a term I want you to write down when she said that. Write this term down. I will not, write this down, let my pennies get in the way of my dollars. Did you guys catch that? I will not let my pennies get in the way of my dollars. So what does that mean? Can somebody tell me what that means? What does that mean? Excuse me? See, that starting small is fine. Okay? Anybody else? I will not let my pennies get in the way of my dollars. She want to spend her pennies wisely so she can make some dollars. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? She says, I'm not going to let my debt get away. Okay, I like that. Anybody else? Real simple term. Don't let your pennies get in the way of your dollars.
I'm gonna say it this way too, Digga Thomas.
Okay.
Don't let your pennies count your dollars.
Okay.
What about that one?
Don't let your pennies count your dollars.
See if they can get it.
Okay. Anybody got it? Anybody close to it? Over here. He says, don't think small. Okay, I like that. Anybody else?
I was trying to get some money away, you know?
Let's give away some money real quick. We ain't getting any money.
They not answering though. They ain't got
okay.
it. They ain't got it.
Whoa, he gets a card.
That's it.
He's close.
That's
He's
it.
close.
Repeat that.
He's close. He's close.
That was
Mr.
good.
Bobby Thompson.
He said, you gotta let him repeat it.
Let me give you a real example of what that looks like.
Hold on,
Okay,
Charles.
go ahead.
They want to hear what he
They
said.
want Bobby to repeat that. Go ahead.
Don't sacrifice the big picture for the small picture.
Don't sacrifice the big picture for the small picture. Can anybody tell me what he mean when he said that? What does that mean when he says that?
Don't look where you are. Don't look where you are. Determine.
That's good. Let me break it down real quick for you. Real quick. You got a general practitioner physician, and you got a heart problem, right? A general practitioner physician is not trained to take your heart business, is he? But as a general practitioner physician, is he cheaper than a heart doctor? Huh? He's cheaper, isn't he? But instead of you taking care of the heart problem because you don't want to spend that extra money going to a heart doctor, you keep going to the general practitioner trying to get advice, don't you? So you let those pennies get in the way of what? The real benefit that's going to benefit you, right? So as you're going through this class and you see these instructors up here, you see Candace, she's a tax specialist, know it inside and out. If you got tax questions, you need to get to her service. Yeah, she may not cost the same thing the guy on the street costs, or the H&R Block guy just preparing taxes, because she may be a special. She may cost a little bit more. Is her little bit more going to make you more money? You kind of get that? Don't let your pennies get in the way your dollars are getting good information. You might want to come see me. Oh, Charles, he's too expensive. Not really. It depends what expensive is. You might want to go see Marcus. Marcus help people put together business plans all day long. Just because he's a senior vice president of a bank, don't be afraid to go in there and talk to him. He's not going to charge you anything the first time around. Neither would I, neither can anybody. This is designed to give you resources. And there's David. David, right there. You know, got to understand estate planning, business stuff. I'm just saying, as you're going through this course, readjust how you see your money and the value of it and the value of advice. That makes sense? Don't let your pennies get away your dollars. I gave you guys some information tonight. Could make you $1 million for free. And I keep giving away in this class when you come see me, whatever. But resources and information is important. And start thinking like that. I need this information to make a difference. Not knowing is very, very expensive. Everybody got that? Yep. All right. Anybody want to pray us out tonight? Any volunteers want to pray us out tonight? We'll talk about this good stuff. Any volunteers want to pray us out tonight? Any questions? No volunteers? The goodness of God? You want to pray us out? Yeah. Come on up and pray us out. What's your name? Alicia. What is it? Alicia is coming up to pray us out. Give her a favor, God.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the wisdom that you have bestowed on us today in the Money Matters class at St. Mark. God, I ask that you bless everybody under the sound of my voice, that we take what we are learning today to implement on our daily lives, our future, for our families, ourselves, and our generation from years to come. God, we just thank you right now for the knowledge you have given our educators, our instructors, to help us to get this that we need so that we can glorify you with our money and our tithes and take care of all the things that you have given us on this earth, God. Thank you. And we're so grateful, God. We don't deserve it, but you still give us grace and mercy. And these things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Hey, guys, thank you guys for showing up tonight. This class is officially over, but you need to stop by and talk to me or Candace, whoever. Just stop by. But we're so glad you're here, and we hope it's changed your lives. Okay? Absolutely. Good night.